according to Pew Research, improving health and exercise are the most common New Year's resolutions that people make. But a lot of people, they ditch them just after a few weeks or a few months. You've probably had one that, well, it just didn't stick. So I'm joined by Dr. Nita Bijoor, a family physician with Oakview Medical Associates in Greenville. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I know so many of us, we have these ideas. We're like, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to be better at this. And it's tough to follow through. So I know you actually have a whole ABCD list of how to stay on top of this. I know it starts with making realistic expectations. So what can you tell us?
Yes, it does. So this is something I created and I use in my own practice with our patients. A is to ask and acknowledge. So to just ask for solutions to the problems you see that are in your way, hurdles health-wise, and then acknowledge that you have the capacity and the ability to do that. That requires brutal honesty and self-awareness. Those are two very important things. The B is to believe that you can make the changes and to buy in. Buy in doesn't mean, spending money on the latest equipment for gym or anything like that. It means making a commitment to yourself, sort of a buy-in. C is the courage to make the changes that are required, and also to be consistent with the changes. And D is to declare and deliver, which means to tell people around you, the loved ones that you have, that I'm making this change and that you're delivering the message that this is the stand you're taking, whether it's eating healthy foods in the new year or making a commitment to exercise, that you're delivering the message to the loved ones around you. So all of these are really crucial to, we call it New Year's resolution, and historically, most of them fail within the first few weeks, but I look at it like try and you will succeed. So you've got to make, changes in order to finally something will come out of it. So,
You were saying, being dedicated. Do you think you should write it down? Like maybe write it on a board or write it in a notebook, somewhere like that?
The more you make it intentional and visualize it, there's a lot to be said for visualization of your intentions, and the goals become realistic. So we look at that as what we call SMART goals. Something simple could be I'll start walking for 30 minutes 3 days a week for the next 3 months. So that's very specific. It's measurable, that if you haven't done the 30 minutes 3 days a week, you've not met that measure. It's achievable, attainable, and realistic. It's very relevant to your situation. Maybe you need to lose a few pounds, and then it's time-bound. So all of these elements are really crucial to making it happen and to be successful at it.
I like the words that you use, SMART, and then you remember each strategy. So.
And then I also have 4 S's, which are to have a support system. That's really important, to have people around you that support your changes. If you have a spouse that's not in the same mindset as you wanting to make a healthy change and they're out there not eating healthy foods, it's going to be more difficult. Another S is self-care, non-judgmental self-care. It's okay if you fail, it's okay if you don't keep up with it, but that doesn't mean you give up, because Rome was not built in a day. A lot of things take consistency, right? And small steps. Don't be overwhelmed by, thinking I need to lose 100 pounds. Just the
don't
first
step on
few.
the scale every day,
No. And self-check, which is, just hold yourself accountable. Use an app, use a diary, a food log, just to make it really visual for you and say, okay, did I check this off? Did I meet what I intended to do? And that itself builds your confidence. So New Year's resolutions, I call it resolutions. It's not just about the new year, but it's a time to forget the old, bring in the new, make new intentions, be purposeful about it, and everything goes great. I really believe that. So.
I know for me personally, sometimes it's like creating a habit, and then once I do that habit for a certain period of time, then I really stick to it. So for me, my husband was always a big meal planner. I was not. I was like, I don't want the same thing over and over again. That takes up my whole Sunday. But we got on it, we started doing it, and now it's just like a part of our weekend plans. It's just kind of like second nature. So I think it is something big when you make a good habit.
All the old adages like practice makes perfect. That really makes sense. The more you practice, it's going to be perfection. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Bijoor, for coming on.
You're welcome.